gentlemen, welcome back to another epic Vietnam adventure. Are you guys ready for part 2 of this series? Let's go. Guys, right now we're here in the old town or the old quarters of Hanoi. This area here is like a living history book. Vietnam has an incredibly long history, and some of it being good, some of it being bad, but every part of this history has left its trace here in the old town. Obviously, Vietnam was an independent country with a great economic boom, and back then this old town, this old quarter here, was known as the quarter of the 36 guilds, because actually each one of the 36 streets had a specific type of business going on here. Later on, the French invaded, made it Indochina, and the French too left their mark here on the old town with the architecture. Later on, unfortunately, the Vietnam War happened and a lot of destruction happened. But since then, Vietnam is rising from the ashes and it's booming. And this right here, the old quarters of Hanoi, is a living history book where you're gonna find so much different architecture and so much different history. Personally find super fascinating that until this day you're still gonna find a whole lot of mobile vendors selling everything from flowers like this lady here behind me to even kitchenware, porcelain, clothing, vegetables, fruits, fish, meat, and anything you can imagine. So let's continue our amazing walk through the old quarters of beautiful Hanoi. As we continue walking around the historic quarters of Hanoi, I mean, it is like literally being in a time machine. I mean, you walk around here and the vibe, the grit, and I don't know, the atmosphere is still so authentic. If you look at pictures from this city from like, you know, I don't know, the 60s, the 70s, and compare it with the vibe and atmosphere today, it is still so extremely authentic. As I showed you earlier, there's still plenty of these mobile vendors selling all kind of goods and commodities. And not only because of the remnants of the old colonial architecture, which you'll find everywhere, but it is just truly authentic and magical, despite it being, of course, a mega metropolis with the, you know, plenty of the high-rise buildings and a modern skyline and all of that. However, walking around the old quarters really makes you feel and gives you an impression of the old Indochina, of the old Hanoi as it used to be, much more so than in a city like Saigon. Ho Chi Minh City, for those who don't understand. Anyway, let's continue walking around the French Quarter. Right now we're in the French Quarter part of town, and just soak up the atmosphere. And obviously, it being the French Quarter, you're gonna find plenty of high fashion boutiques here and there, and plenty of coffee shops. Yes, absolutely, the Vietnamese love their coffee. And funny enough, walking around the streets and seeing these coffee shops, you see these people having their coffees and their croissants and French pastries, pretty much gives you an impression that you would have walking around the streets of good old Paris, France. So let's continue walking around the old quarters of beautiful Hanoi. Alright folks, yes, you know, you're gonna think I'm some lazy butt, and yes, I do agree, I have a fat stomach, so I should be walking, but I tell you frankly, I've been walking for days, exploring Vietnam, and especially Hanoi, so I thought I'll treat myself to a little traditional rickshaw ride. Alright folks, well my little bicycle rickshaw ride is slowly coming to an end, and yes, it is actually near 3 p.m. so I am hungry and I'm gonna look for some food. We're gonna have some noodles today, but I wanted to tell you just a little bit before we go into the restaurant, because obviously yes, noodles are a huge staple here in Vietnam, but there is two types of noodles. There is the pho, which you may know as pho, but it's actually pronounced pho, which is literally like one big piece of noodle, one big sheet. It looks a bit like flesh. And there is bun, which is the noodles that we know, which sort of, well, I guess, you know, we would call them ramen and stuff like that. So big difference between the two. And I'm gonna go into a noodle shop and tell you a whole lot more about it. So until then, I'll enjoy this ride and I will see you inside the noodle restaurant. Are now in the noodle restaurant, and as I explained, there are two types of main noodles here in Vietnam, but I decided not to go for pho today, but I decided to go for bun. As a matter of fact, I decided to go for a super classic Hanoi dish, which is bun cha, which basically is a pork noodle dish, and I'll show you what it looks like once it lands on my table. This right here is the pork, and if you look at it, it is absolutely beautiful. They're like little meatballs in here in a really spicy, savory sauce with plenty of chili. Oh yeah. This right here is bun. This is like the noodle I told you about, which is sort of, I don't know, we would sort of refer to it as ramen wrongly, but anyway, this is a Vietnamese bun. They're made out of rice. This right here, obviously everybody knows it, is some fresh soya, and then you have plenty of greens, this beautifully arranged carrot, and of course some Vietnamese spring rolls. It's spicy, but really on the nice side, and it's got a bit of a soury side like you always get here in Asia with the pickles. It's absolutely amazing. We have reached Ninh Binh Province. Ninh Binh Province is a few hours drive outside of Hanoi and boasts an absolutely picturesque landscape that is often referred to as HaLong Bay on land. Yeah. All right, guys, without a doubt, Vietnam is a two-wheel country. Most people don't have money to afford a car or any four-wheel transport, so I think the most luxurious one is gonna splurt out some money on for transportation is gonna be a scooter or a motorbike. But frankly speaking, Vietnam's #1 transport is and remains the good old bicycle. So, talking in those terms, I am riding Vietnam's #1 national transport, the bicycle. Alright guys, welcome back to another amazing location right here in Vietnam. Today I'm about an hour and a half drive outside of Hanoi, and I came to see these ladies here at the incense manufacturing place, because this is little rural cottage industry, and these ladies manufacture these beautiful, colorful, absolutely fabulous smelling incense sticks. So let's walk around, let's soak up some of the colorful atmosphere and beauty of the incense manufactory right here in Vietnam.
Việt Nam cướp à?
Good morning from HaLong Bay. I mean, look at this amazing sight with the mist coming out of the water, climbing up these mountains. It pretty much makes me feel that I am in King Kong's Skull Island right now. And yes, fun fact, this movie was actually filmed here in HaLong Bay. I'm not filming this in black and white. This is literally just the crack of dawn with all the mist and smoke in the mountains. Alright guys, I just had breakfast and I'm back here in my cabin on board the Cozy Bay cruise ship on HaLong Bay, and the good news is the fog has lifted, the skies have cleared, so now let me show you the amazing natural beauty of HaLong Bay, Vietnam. Night falls here on HaLong Bay. Let's get back to the boat and enjoy some onboard entertainment.
Right here, and then you get a vegetable, put in one side like this, and some carrot, yeah, and egg in here, yeah, just put everything in here, cucumber, and pork cake in here. So if you do not eat pork, in here we have the fish cake for you. Yeah, this is a fish cake. and then keep rolling. Easy, easy. Yeah. After you have it, very easy. Dip in the sauce, and then you know how to eat it, Christopher?
Show it. Are you gonna feed me?
In Vietnam, you have to stand like this. Open your mouth.
Do I have to?
Wow. This is a seafood spring roll.
Seafood spring roll.
Yeah.
With a pineapple lantern.
Yeah.
Is it anybody's birthday?
Let's sing it anyway. Happy birthday. Yes, yes. All right, guys. This right here brings us to the end of part 2 of our Vietnam exploration. But there is one more part to come, so stay tuned as I take you all the way down south and into the central province as we explore some more amazing destinations here in Vietnam. So stay tuned. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave some comments because it really helps the algorithm. And if you like, follow me on my social media handles, and I will see you right here in beautiful Vietnam again very soon. Stay safe, stay happy. God bless.